What's up, Kansas City? This is Keisha, and I'm here at the historic Lincoln Building. I am speaking with a special guest, Mr. Dan Coffey, who is Secretary Treasurer for a group considered a watchdog, would you say? Citizen for Responsible Government. And we're talking about some issues affecting Kansas City and Kansas City taxpayers. So, Dan, tell us about the streetcar issue and how that's affecting Kansas City and Kansas City taxpayers.
Well, sometimes our group, Citizens for Responsible Government, gets a little bit of, I think, what's a bad rap. It's like people think that we're against everything. Matter of fact, the mayor even said that one time. He called us cavemen, citizens against virtually everything. And our comeback to that was he needs to put an S on that, C-A-V-E-S, and we are citizens against virtually everything stupid. So anyhow, we're not against progress. We like progress. We're not against giving developers financial breaks or encouragement to do things. But at the same time, we like to look out for the taxpayers' dollars and make sure they're being spent in a good, profitable way that benefits the entire city and not just a few. Now, the streetcar, for example, was voted on in a very small area where 370 people cast votes and approved that 2-mile streetcar line for the cost to the city of about $125 million so far. So they're saying. Now, honestly, I think it's probably been more than that. Now they want to expand that, and they want to add 8 more miles to it, 4 miles out to the UMKC and 4 miles back downtown. That's going to be a tremendous. The Cato Institute has put figures for streetcar expansion somewhere between $50 and $100 million a mile. So it's going to be an extremely expensive thing. And they say, well, the taxpayers won't pay for this. This will be paid for again by only the taxpayers within the what they call the TDD, the Transportation Development District. That's usually like, I think it's couple miles on either side of the line. And those people get increase in property taxes. If they're within a certain area of the track, they get an assessment on their property, which is an ongoing deal. Then in addition to that, the sales taxes in the area all increase forever, I guess, to help pay for it. But there's stealth taxes that we think are involved in this that they don't talk about. For example, we know from the water department that they spent close to at least $40 million downtown on in the area where the 2-mile streetcar line runs, relocating utilities and redoing things down there and on. Now that money isn't in the cost of the streetcar. They're not reporting that, but it is in your water bill.
Right.
And and those are all over the city. So it's not just a certain period, people in a certain little area that end up paying for this thing. The whole city pays for it. Now they want to expand this thing. We're not necessarily against expansion, but we think that the voters ought to have a say.
Absolutely.
If they want to expand it out to UMKC and then back down to Union Station, they should put that before a vote. And since it's going to end up costing the entire city, some way or another, all the taxpayers will end up paying for this, that all the taxpayers should be able to vote on it. They're approaching it again like they did the downtown line. Let's control it. Let's make it a mail-in ballot. Only you got to send in a thing that says, I want a ballot. Then you get the ballot back. Then you fill it out. Then you take it and get it notarized. Then you mail it back in. Well, the response isn't going to be huge on something like that. A lot of people won't take the time to do it. So there'll be this controlled little group again that could very well approve this and stick all the taxpayers in the city with another pretty big bill. So we're against the way they want to do that.
Right.
We just think, I don't know that we necessarily need the streetcar expanded, but if the voters want to vote for that and approve it, I can go along with that. But let's just put it up to a public vote and not have a few individuals trying to control the actions of
Absolutely. So since you've been watching the things that's been going on in Kansas City and paying a close eye to the issues that are affecting Kansas City residents and taxpayers, what do you feel is an issue that could be addressed above expanding the streetcar project?
Well, first of all, the infrastructure things really do need to be addressed. Schools, and all the different things that we have that we need here, all of that should where the focus will be. But see, that's not pretty. That's not something you can't go down, you can't ride it. It's not a fun thing to do, to pass the road, to fix a bridge. So those things kind of get pushed to the back burner, to fix a sidewalk or build new sidewalks. So those things get pushed to the back burner because they're not newsmakers. They're not, I say, sexy, So, and those are the things that we need to be focusing on. Those are the things that Kansas City. We've collected, God, I would hate to think of how many hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of dollars in taxes for those very things. And yet we don't have them.
Right.
So where did that money go? You know what? That's one of our goals is, hey, let's get some better accountability for this, and instead of just writing these checks out there and saying, yeah, here, let's do this, let's find out, okay, how much is this going to cost? How are we going to pay for it? And then measure it. Did it cost that much, or did it cost more? Did it get done? Those are the type of questions we would like to see the taxpayers ask and get involved and demand responses to those questions.
We got out of a tumultuous election, and the outcome with Trump being our president-elect right now. So what we're seeing, though, through that election is that more people are willing to get involved in not just politics, but get involved in their community. So I thank you for what you're doing for the Kansas City area and helping the citizens with getting more involved in what our politicians are doing, the projects that are on the table, and things of that nature. So again, give the people of Kansas City your information and how they can follow you.
Well, quick side note that you mentioned that. Thank you very much, because we don't hear a lot of that. Anyway, one of our goals when we started was trying to get more people involved in discussing what's going on at City Hall. And I'm not patting ourselves on the back or anything, but I think we've done a lot of that because there's a lot of groups now speaking up. You're seeing a lot of different petitions on different subjects, a lot of people asking questions, but not near enough. We need more people asking questions all the time, calling the city council person, emailing them, asking them what's going on here. Hey, I don't like this. We need to be doing this. Get involved.
Right.
Get vocal. You can contact us and get on our mailing list. Our email address is cfrg123@gmail.com, or you can go on Facebook. We have Citizens for Responsible Government. We have a Facebook page, and you can get on that. If you do, we'd ask that you share that with your other members and friends, and try to build a coalition of people that are asking questions. May not always agree with each other, but at least we're asking some questions, and maybe we'll get some answers.
Right. And here at Cascade Media Group, we want to urge the citizens of Kansas City to please get in touch with your council members, get in touch with your local government, and be on top of these situations. These things they're not going to come to you and let you know what's going on with your taxpayers' money. So we urge you to stay involved and stay in touch with groups like Citizens for Responsible Government and whatsupkansascity.net. You can find all of your current information on what's going on in Kansas City. So thank you again, Dan Coffey, for coming down and talk to us about what's going on down at City Hall and letting us stay on top of those issues.
Thank you, Keisha.
Thank you. And remember, guys, it's Keisha's from What's Up Kansas City. Remember, to know better is to do better.
I'm IFBB Bikini Pro Cat Williams, and when I'm not working out in the gym, I'm searching the web on Cascade Media and What's Up Kansas City. So make sure you check them out.